not interviewing the residents, we're interviewing their adult children because they're the decision makers. And what they've told us in spades is, I think the whole way we talk about senior housing is wrong, and they're telling us that it's wrong. They don't want to be labeled anymore. And so just simple terms like retired or seniors is very inflammatory, it's very derogatory. And so don't label me as you're just putting me in this home for the last couple of years of my life. And I think what they're telling us very loud and clear is, like in all aspects of society, they want choice. And we're not going to dictate to them that your meals are going to be at 8, 12, and 5. They're going to dictate to us that when they want to eat is going to be on demand. They're going to care heavily about wellness. They're telling us that they want to live in themed communities where they still have a lot to give back, right? They're not content sitting in a room playing bingo, right? They want to go on cultural expeditions. They want to learn a foreign language. They want to cognitively continue growing. And so I think how we approach that from a programming perspective and creating space that enables them to thrive and find that inner spark, whatever it is, will be critically important. But I think you'll find over time that communities will be known as, a great place for volunteerism, where they're going out and they're spending time with children, or arts and crafts, or music, or whatever the case may be. But I think how we operate today is going to be turned on its head. And I agree with John, and I think you're going to find communities, occupancies will plummet if they continue operating in the status quo, even down to how we actually talk about ourselves with this particular demographic. We're already starting to see that change a little bit.
Jack, very good points. I think that your question is really fundamental, which is how do you approach this business? And as Jack points out, if you go out and you are going to do things to the residents that you think that they need, that's not going to go very well. It probably went better in the last 20 years, but it's certainly not going to work in the next 20 years. So the first thing is something that my mother, my 97-year-old mother, tells me, which is stop talking and listen. Listen. If you are with residents now and you listen, you'll find out that there's a whole spectrum of people out there. It's not just one way of doing things, and there's some people want things one way and another a different way, and it's changing. It's going to continue to change. That's the part we know. So, but I think as Jack suggests, that's not enough. If you think about, I don't care for the Apple analogy so much, but I really think of Amazon. If you wait for the resident to tell you what they need, you failed. You've got to be out there trying to anticipate what they're going to need, and it's not going to be one thing. So with innovation, that's where we're focused right now. If you're in that business, you have to expect that a lot of what you do isn't going to work. We tell our folks 70 to 80% failure rate. Think about that if you were in school and you had an 80% failure rate. No, but that's the business of innovation. One quick example, this is several years ago, Amazon is coming out with Alexa. And we had a resident say, you really should look into this. This could be really, but he was always telling us stuff we should buy. And it's just, I said, okay, Jack, I'll put that on the list. And pretty soon we heard a couple of people. So we said, well, why don't we get our technology people down there to that community and just pilot it, see if you can find 10 or 15 people. And sure enough, we had no problem finding people that would pilot it. The pilot went incredibly well. Not everybody liked it. Some people just didn't use it at all. But it took off like wildfire. It wasn't us, again, promoting Alexa, but the residents said, this is fantastic. They formed their own committee to help support each other in terms of applications, identify ways that they could use it that we weren't thinking of, but they knew because they're living this. The committee then did fundraising, so it wasn't us, but they were buying their own. They waited till they went on sale. They'd buy as many as they could, then they would resell them to their fellow residents, and then ask them to, if they didn't, they'd give them, and if they liked them, they said, just pay the money forward. Now the entire community has it. They've appeared at Aging 2.0 conferences. Not, we're there sort of in the sidelines supporting them. But from this pilot, it's been embraced and they're running forward. I think if there's a message for the future, it's try a lot of things, be prepared for failure. But when something takes off, when it really is an innovation, you have to be willing to invest both monetarily and human capital.